Hi, I'm David Malki. I do the comic strip Wondermark, which is found at wondermark.com.
Cool. So, talk a little bit about your process of putting it together. You use a very unique way you put together the web strip.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I got a sample here for you. I've got a bunch of books like this from the 1800s. They're full of these old engravings, woodcuts, and all kinds of stuff. Here, I'll show you a couple more. And what I do is I scan the images from these books, and then I use them as building blocks to make comics. And the result are comic strips that look sort of like this.
So we'll put you in touch with the guy.
So every strip is a collage from these old-timey sources, and I write the dialogue and kind of put it together and make them about other stuff than what they were originally. That's the idea.
This is probably an obvious question, given the way that you look, but what's the deal with beards?
Yeah, well, I feel like beards are
Similar.
There's a sort of reclamation of masculinity that's been happening in the culture recently, where it's maybe a reaction to metrosexuality, maybe an assertion of differentness, where the norm has always been sort of clean-shavenness in the last century. And I feel like these things are conflating together with an appreciation of old-timey style and in some cases civility and sort of the intangibles, but in other cases just nice-looking clothes and nice-looking hats. And, a big part of the old-timey aesthetic in the Victorian era in particular is some kind of nice-looking beards. People got crazy mustaches. People got wacky-looking sideburns. And I feel like people are unafraid to do stuff like that. That's awesome in a way that maybe they once were 20 years ago.
A couple of months ago, you released a longer Wondermark story. Is that something you think you'll be doing more of?
Yeah, I do a couple of those a year, or maybe about once a year. The Wondermark strip, is the traditional format, the 3-panel strip, but I've also got occasionally opportunities to do these longer graphic novel type stories. In fact, I'll show you another example of one of those. And they have the same collage aesthetic to them, but they actually look more like comic books rather than strips. And it's somewhat difficult to do just because of the nature of Wondermark. I'm limited with source material. So it's not like I have 20 images of the same guy from different angles. So in those cases, it's trickier to put together, but I like doing that from time to time because it gives me an opportunity to tell different kinds of stories.
What's coming up next for Wondermark?
Well, actually, brand new is this book I just held up. It's called Dapper Caps and Pedal Copters. It's the latest hardcover collection from Dark Horse, and we do about one of these a year, and this year's is just out now. And it's brand new. It's got a bunch of comics, and as you saw, some of the stuff in the back, extra bonus special stuff that you can't find on the website. And it's, we're just going to keep doing these collections, and we're also always making new prints and posters and t-shirts and other cool gifty stuff to make your world a little more delightful.
Last little question. Are we going to see more from the alien with the Brontosaurus head?
Yeah, Gax the Gaxian. I'll show you. Here's Gax the Gaxian with his tentacular genitalia, and I definitely think we're going to see more of him and his unique perspective on the world's events and relationships as time goes on, so look forward to it.